That sucked. That's not what I wanted to see. Jets lose 19-32 in what was close for about a quarter and a half maybe. Not great. Aaron Rodgers finishes the day 13 of 21, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 167 yards. Look, the NFL, where am I going with this? No, the Jets, I know everyone's going to want to get up and upset about this first game. No Christian McCaffrey, you got to win that game. But I'm not like doom and gloom about this loss. The issue, not getting any pressure on Brock Purdy. Dude had forever to throw. Felt like he was sitting back there for like 5 minutes at a clip. Couldn't get any pressure. Hassan Reddick won today. I still don't want to give in. I still don't want to pay the money. If we screw up after Tennessee, maybe. But this one sucks. Defense couldn't get off the field. Time of possession. Time of possession's wild. Jets had like 20 minutes, I think. 21 minutes. 49ers had 39 minutes of possession. Absolutely insane. Robert Saleh just gave his press conference. We're going to go to that. Listen to that. We'll listen to the Aaron Rodgers press conference. And then I'll get some of your takes as well on this. But, yeah, look, overall, Brees, not a good game. Fumble early on. Winds up leading to points. You have a drop pass that I think, did it not matter? He had the drop pass, and then it was the touchdown to Lazard, I think, is what happened after that. So, man, I was all ready to, like, get fired up and be excited, and this sucks. 19 feels like a gift. Tyrod Taylor comes in at the end, which I think is the right call. You got 4 minutes left. You're down by, 3 scores or whatever it was. Got to pull Rodgers. Honestly, I didn't like that Garrett Wilson was still out there. I think that was a mistake. I think you just got to pull everyone at that point. We'll go over our leaders. So, like I said, Aaron Rodgers, 13 of 21, 167 yards, touchdown and interception. Breece Hall had 16 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. That was 3.4 yards a carry. Receiving, you've got Allen Lazard, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 touchdown from Rodgers on the penalty play when 49ers jumped off sides. They got the nice long pass. And then obviously the last touchdown with Tyrod Taylor in there. Lazard had a bad drop beginning of the game. As soon the first friggin' throw, 3rd down. Like, that's what kills me. The first 2 drives put us behind the 8 ball immediately. You have the 3rd down drop by Lazard, which as soon as it happens, of course it's Lazard. Winds up having like a halfway decent game. So hopefully he gets that out of his system. And then Breece fumbling the ball. Breece never fumbles. Not a thing from Breece. But that was like, Warner came in with the perfect punch. Perfect punch. You cannot, unless Breece had both hands on the ball, which, sure, you could argue, I guess, but not, like, that was just a perfectly placed punch. Breece isn't going to do that week in and week out. Not going to be a thing. Garrett Wilson, you're a stud. 6 receptions, 60 yards. Don't know why we tried to run it as much as we did. That was frustrating. Felt like we knew we weren't getting any yardage and felt like we were just going to keep pounding and pounding and pounding and just try to make it work. It was not working. Breece Hall, 5 receptions, 39 yards. Like that they got him involved in the passing game as well. Again, the time of possession was the biggest thing for me. Not getting off the field, having Christian McCaffrey not play this damn game, and having his replacement come in and just gash it. What did he wind up having? Jordan Mason, 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. That's 5.2 yards a clip. On this defense is supposed to be elite. We're talking top 5. That's not top 5 caliber, like, figure it out kind of defense. No, you screwed up. You screwed up. This is an undrafted free agent from 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Brock Purdy, 19 of 29, 231 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. By and large, Jets kind of did what they needed to do. Like, aside from the running game. Like, we couldn't figure out the fucking running game. And the offense just, like, making mistakes. They looked rusty. It's frustrating, but I'm not going doom and gloom, like, at all. I sat here and I felt like, okay, yeah, we lost to a good team. We lost to a better team. We made some stupid mistakes, but this looks like a team and an offense that didn't play together all preseason, which I'm kind of okay with. It just sucks. Hassan Reddick, are we going to fold now? Is it going to be one of those situations? Well, we didn't get pressure on Brock Purdy, so we got to throw the bag at Hassan Reddick. I'll be honest, I don't really want to see it. Because even if we throw the bag at him, is he going to play against the Titans? And is he going to play in a short week versus the Patriots? If anything, I would see how these next 2 games go. Let him lose 3 games of game checks. We should be able to beat the Titans. We should be able to beat the Patriots. If you can't do that, got a lot more wrong than just that. So I don't know what to tell you. It's frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Garrett's got to know to get his toes down. One of those last plays. He made some sick catches, though. Made some sick catches. By and large, look, really not crazy upset. I don't know where Mike Williams was the entire game. I want to see how many snaps he actually ended up having. Because I wouldn't even consider him a decoy. What do you have, 10 snaps maybe? If that? I mean, heck, the Jets only had 21 passing snaps. Not including a sack if we had any sacks. I think we had the 1 sack of Rodgers. I thought Rodgers looked all right. I thought Rodgers had a nice zip on the ball. I thought he wasn't quite hitting guys in stride. Like there was a few passes where Garrett kind of had to turn a little bit to get the reception in. Lazard picked it up the second half. Conklin didn't get involved. It's hard to get any of the offense involved when you're not getting first downs. We had one beautiful drive all the way down the field. I was like, oh, we figured it out. Rust is shaken off. We're good the rest of the game. And it just never happened again after that. Just couldn't get started. You can't win a game when you're sitting on the sideline that long. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Defensively, they cooked us on the zone. I mean, it felt like it at least. I very much wanted to see man at some point. It felt like every time we had a linebacker, hovering in space, or you have a wide receiver, he finds the gap in the zone, and then all of a sudden he's just wide open. That's what it felt like. It felt like Brock Purdy had a zillion hours back there to throw and was just finding guys there. If you could have if Zach Wilson had that pocket, he'd be doing pretty good. That's what it felt like. Like Purdy had all day to throw. And this is something that I was told, the Trent Williams thing on the left-hand side, yeah, sure, that's going to suck, but the other 4 guys on the other side, you should be able to get some penetration. We saw some penetration early in the game with Quinn and Williams. Not so much after that. Not so much after that. So kind of frustrating to see it. I think it's all right. I get if people are a little fired up. But I'm not going to lose a whole heck of a lot of sleep on this. All right. So you guys hear my top takeaways. We'll listen to the Robert Saleh presser, the Aaron Rodgers presser, get some call-in reactions from you guys from the first day. Let's go through a few super chats that are in here. Recognize you guys. Thank you so much. We've got Jonathan Moore coming in. Says, no pressure on Purdy and bad coverage, bad D. It certainly felt like bad D. It was no pressure on Purdy, and we couldn't stop the run. It looked like Christian McCaffrey back there. I'm not even necessarily sure the game's different. The game probably ends exactly the same with Christian McCaffrey back there. Did Mason have any bad plays that you didn't think Christian McCaffrey would make? I don't really think so. But yeah, dude, it sucks. They kind of had their way with us. Time of possession was just totally lopsided. Jetpack comes in, says, if we lose the Titans, I'm literally just done. F this team. All these bums do is make me depressed. Why should I care? Move on with life. Look, if we look like a bad team against the Titans, then it's going to be a lot of pressure on Thursday Night Football for the Patriot game. But we got to right the ship. Titans are coming off a loss. They're a sneaky good team. I really believe that. They're a sneaky good team. And if you're gonna come out here, show up in Tennessee, you gotta win. Take it out on the Titans. That's what I want to see. Take it out on the Titans. Sorless comes in. Sorless says some preseason snaps would have helped the offense. Maybe. I mean, look, God forbid someone got hurt. We'd all be bitching about it too. So it definitely looked like they were rusty. I'll say that much. And that's part of why I'm like not super concerned. Like Mike Williams is going to be a factor at some point in the season. You're not going to see those issues from Breece on a consistent basis. Rodgers looked pretty good. Defense looked all right the first half. It just, they still couldn't stop the run. The run was an issue. Run was a big issue. Daddy Dev, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, guys, we are forgetting this team. Made it to the Super Bowl last year. It's a tough game, and we're not supposed to win. At least we can put it behind us. Yeah, right? Like, I don't want to just brush it off as if like, oh, well, I didn't pick us to win. Look, I didn't. I also picked it to be the under on the score, and it was not. It was wound up going the other way. Look, we were an underdog. We were going up against a very good team in a hostile environment. They were without their best player in Christian McCaffrey. And we are showing a little rust from last year. We also got a lot of guys gelling together. We got a whole offensive line of 4 of 5 new starters across the offensive line. Does it suck? Sure. But they're gelling together. I thought tonight it looked good. I thought the offensive line looked all right. Like, for the most part. The running game couldn't really get going. But I thought in the passing game, I didn't think Rodgers was running for his life. That's the best I've seen the offensive line look in a long time. So I agree with you, Daddy. I agree with you. Not a crazy thing. It sucks, but we'll iron it out. CJ coming in says the defense played like shit. JD better be calling Reddick right now because we need help up front badly. Terrible play calling also. So yeah, I didn't like the offensive play calling. I thought we tried to run the ball way too much when we were down early. I thought it felt very conservative. It felt like, hey, run, pass, punt, which was basically the Paul Hackett playbook. So it felt like we just copy and pasted that with Nathaniel Hackett. So like, don't really love how the offense was called. I think we shot ourselves in the foot from look, Garrett stepping out of bounds at the end of the game. Breece Hall fumbling the ball. Lazard dropping a ball on 3rd down and short. Like all these things combined into like one bad performance. And I don't think that's going to be the norm consistently. It might be. I hope not. But I do think this team is a lot better than what we saw tonight. And I am not quite there with the losing my mind. I still don't even want to pay Reddick. I'm not there on Reddick yet. As much as we didn't get pressure on Purdy tonight, I would rather see how the next game or two play out. Make Reddick really pay for not showing up to camp. And then negotiate after the Patriots game, see where we're at. Pluto comes in the super chat. Thank you so much. Says, where was our other running backs? Lord, we can and can we play Mike Williams? Stop the Mecole Hardman treatment. And what was the point of drafting all these first-round edge rushers again? And I'm so tired of Lazard. So I don't like the Lazard drop. That had me like I blew my stack as soon as that happened. Other than that, I thought he was fine. He had a nice block on a good Breece run as well, or maybe it was a catch. It might have been a catch out of the backfield. I think Mike Williams, they might be working him back from injury. Maybe that's why they chose to have him not play as much early on. Lazard knows the offense. He's been healthy. He's been throughout camp. I think that's more of what it was, and he was used as a decoy. So hopefully that's not the same as what happened to Mecole Hardman last year. Mecole Hardman didn't know the offense. And Gibson was playing better. I don't think Lazard's necessarily playing better, or I don't think he's necessarily better. He played good today, for the most part. And the other running backs, yeah, look, we didn't see Braylon Allen on the field until the last play of the game, last drive of the game with Tyrod Taylor. I said that to the guys I was watching the game with. Like, this feels weird. Like, why is Breece only in? But it's also because, like, we didn't need to take Breece off the field because the offense wasn't on the field. That's sort of, that's kind of where I got to on this. If I would keep Breece on the field, as long as he's, not huffing and puffing. Look, I don't know. It sucks. We weren't on the field long enough to make a difference. NY Native says, this is all on the head coach for not having them ready. Yeah, look, I think this is a loss on Salah. I think it's a loss on the players, too. There was some uncharacteristic things that Salah couldn't have necessarily stopped. I don't think the offense was called great. I thought the defense couldn't stop the run, so there were issues all the way around, but I don't think this is something we can't unclean up. I think we can clean it up. Landon, did they say why Sauce was out but not hurt in the second quarter? Yeah, Salah said it in his presser. I'm going to go over to the presser momentarily. I'm just going to get through some of these super chats, and then we'll go over to both Salah's presser and Rodgers' presser. So what did they say about Sauce? Sauce just needed to catch his breath. That feels weird to me that like that's the reason why he was out on the field, because it's not something you generally see from Sauce. So maybe there's more there that we're just not seeing, but that was the excuse that was given. Oreo says, what I tell you, you said they wouldn't put up 30. I didn't think they would. You were right. I was wrong. And this is bullshit. I'm going home. Small Health Court Jester. Thank you for the super chat. It says, have you ever once seen Salah coach up players on the sideline? It's embarrassing. On a positive note, Rodgers took hits, got up, and competed. Yeah, look, the first time he took that sack, I was like, I held my breath. I didn't want to. I was concerned. But I thought he did well. I thought he released the ball well. I thought he got the ball out fast. I thought he didn't lose any zip on his arm. I thought he was mostly accurate. Some of the balls were a little behind, like Garrett Wilson. So maybe that gets cleaned up a bit. I like how he was calling dudes off sides. It felt like he was sharp as attack. So I'll take that. As far as Salah not coaching up guys, look, this whole defense we've gotten more out of our defense with Salah and 𝐂𝐼𝐥𝐢𝐷 here. Now, maybe that's more 𝐂𝐼𝐿𝐵RICK and not as much Salah, but either way, I do think there's an impact from having Salah and 𝐂𝐼𝐥𝐷 here. I think we have coached up our defensive side of the ball. So I don't think it's too crazy. I'm not going to lose my mind yet. I understand. I see someone saying the ha-ha defensive coordinator, rah-rah defensive coordinator. Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you think playing the starters in the preseason would have made a difference? Also, that one thing Jermaine Johnson did. Name one thing. What is one thing Jermaine Johnson did possibly? Look, Trent Williams locked him down. I love me Jermaine Johnson, but man, he was locked down today. I don't know if he made a play. Let me see. Did he even get a tackle? He had 2 tackles. 2 tackles had Jermaine. Look, I don't think Jermaine had a good day. I think he went up against Trent Williams, and you would hope that Trent Williams was rusty, but he clearly didn't look like it, even though he went in at the end of one of those drives, probably for like oxygen or something, probably sucking wind. Yeah, look, do I think playing the starters? Maybe. But if we got hurt in the preseason, we'd be bitching up a storm. So losing to the 49ers and looking a little rusty, it sucks, but I don't know, it just sucks. Yo, what up, Jet Engine? Thank you for the 20 spot. Says, Reddick makes 0 difference in this game. I completely agree. Completely agree with this. The Jets lost this game at the point of attack on both sides of the ball. Run blocking was bad, and the D-line looked like little kids getting pushed around by adults. 20 and 5 both make mistakes. Yeah, look, I don't think Haason Reddick changes this game. I really don't, because we didn't have that many opportunities to pass rush. Early on, sure, but like for the most part, we just got it run down our throat. And I don't think Reddick's necessarily helping that. I think it was the mistakes on the offense. I think it felt like we were rusty. Breece Hall fumbles the ball, drops the ball that ultimately didn't really matter. Garrett Wilson steps out of bounds. I think play calling had a big issue with it. I think it was the entire offensive side of the ball, honestly. I think if they had gotten going, it wouldn't have been as bad. Defensively, we couldn't stop the run, but we were predictable. Or we made it so they could be predictable. We knew they were going to run at us. They threw some crazy formations and like end arounds with Debo and stuff. Like it was just very creative on their part without having Christian McCaffrey there. So it sucks. That team is going to be better, but we are also going to be a better team moving forward as well. So as much as that sucks, I agree, Jet Engine. This game is not any different with Haason Reddick, and it was the offensive side of the ball that did not look great. D-line got pushed around. Point of attack. That's what it was. Our rushing game wasn't good. Like even the offensive side of the ball, even though the pass protection looked pretty solid, running-wise, what did Breece have? 3.8 yards a carry? Is that what it was? 3.4. 3.4 yards a carry. Hulk, smash my mom. I'm not worried. We're going to be okay. Wheels up. Yeah, see, look. Listen to Hulk here. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right, let's head over to Robert Saleh's press conference. We'll take a listen to that.
Coach, obviously not the start. You want outside of the offensive struggles. I think the clear-cut visual was no Christian McCaffrey. They were able to run the ball really effectively, especially on the edge. What were the problems you were seeing and having in those situations where you couldn't get those stops?
Now they still have a stable of backs, but at the same time, it's they're very, very good up front, and from an efficiency standpoint, they beat us up front, plain and simple.
We saw Sauce Gardner go out in the second quarter, and apparently it was not injury related. Could you provide?
He was just trying to catch it. He finished the half. He was just trying to catch his breath.
Did you get the win now,
I couldn't tell you exactly. I just know he was fine.
How did Aaron look too?
You know, like I said, we never really gave him a chance to get into rhythm. Defensively, they just, credit to San Francisco. They did a great job running the ball. They were very efficient in the pass game. Even in the second half, when we feel like we made some adjustments in the run game, and they still were, -1 explosive. Thought we did good in the run game, but they were really good in the pass game too. They're an elite football team, and I know they were missing Christian, but they still have Debo and Ayuk and Jennings and a really good O-line and a really good quarterback. So, credit to them. They executed a heck of a lot better than we did, and we got to be better.
You guys weren't able to get to Brock very much with pressures and hits and sacks. What do you believe contributed to that?
They very efficient on their end in terms of getting rid of the ball pretty quick. Never really gave us a chance. There was a lot of 3rd and short, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and 3rd and 2s, and so we never really got an opportunity to get after the passer. And the opportunities that we did get a chance to get after the passer, they did a good job being efficient, hitting his back foot and get rid of the football. So credit to them. I thought they executed very well today.
Garrett was hot early with the 4 receptions, and then I think it was about another quarter and a half before he got a target. What happened?
Like I said, they played keep away. Felt like our offense could never get a chance to get in rhythm. The first drive had a chance to extend it, and I thought Allen had a really good game, minus the first 3rd down. Then we had the fumble on the second drive. Then we had a really nice drive, and then from there it felt like it was forever before our offense saw the ball again. So I'm not really concerned. I feel like offensively we did a lot of really nice things. We did, it's just especially for Aaron on his first game back, we'll definitely be better.
When you talked about not getting to that rhythm on offense, obviously, but just from what you saw from Aaron after not getting to see him, in this setting ever, what did you think he looked like just physically?
He looked fine.
Command, all that stuff.
No, I thought he looked fine. His command was fine. We'll be better, 100%. I'm not worried. I mean, like I said, give San Francisco a lot of credit. I'm not worried offensively. I'm not worried defensively. We'll get it fixed.
Is it disappointing though the defense, did not play like you used to play?
Yeah, it's anytime you get run on like that. And credit to them. Like I said, it's a championship outfit, and they introduced us to some championship football, and we'll get that shit fixed.
Coach, the second drive you were able to put together, sustained 12-play touchdown drive. Outside of that, a lot of 3 and outs in the first half. What about the Niners defense made it so difficult to sustain drives outside of the one in the first half?
Now, like I said, it just when you're playing keep away and they're sitting on the sideline for 15, what felt like forever, it's hard to keep rhythm. And so like I said, we'll get it fixed.
Robert, it's over the second half. It was really just Garrett and Reese. You're only really ball carriers and receivers. Do you have to get more people involved in the offense?
Yeah, and like I said, I think that'll come naturally. I mean, we had 49 plays on offense, and I think that'll happen organically when we're able to possess the ball and have a couple of have opportunities to drive. You go 12 plays, and then from there, like I said, you're just not seeing the field as much as you want, and but all of it will come together. For a first game for Aaron and for the offense and all that stuff, I thought, like I said, there's going to be some good things that we can take away from, and now we just got to figure out a way to get better from week 1 to week 2.
Sustaining drives, though, Robert, that sustaining drives, that was an issue last year too. I mean, we talked a lot about you guys just not having the opportunity to make plays, not getting enough yards on first and second down to make third. I mean, is it alarming at all that
No,
the same issue?
no, because I think we were 6 of 10 on 3rd down. The disappointing one was the 2nd and 1 that we did not get a first down in the second half. It was 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Didn't convert, but like I say, guys, you know, there was a lot of promising things, and you know, from a team standpoint, all 3 phases we've got to be better, especially defensively, and we will.
Take a couple more.
Where's Mike Williams in his physical progression?
He's fine. Like I said, we're going to be smart with him, and we'll find ways to continue to implement him and get him going in the offense. But he's fine. He's in a good place.
Robert, on the short yardage offense, there was a 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter. It was Brees Hall, and he didn't get it. Also in the second half, there was a 2-point conversion that was Brees Hall. What about using the rookie? You know, the big.
Yeah, it's something we'll look at. We could use him in those situations. I know that you know, the 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter, we were on the ball, trying to get a quick one, but yeah, he could be definitely used in those situations.
Robert, can your offense be effective with Aaron only attempting 21 passes?
It could be. You know, I think our run game is going to be fine, but at the same time, like, that's 49 plays total. Never really got a chance to establish what we were trying to establish today.
Injuries with Carter in particular?
Michael could have finished the game. We just held him, and that was really the only.
Is that the same ankle he was doing in training?
Yeah, it's going to be something all year. You know, when you got a high ankle sprain, you're going to get zingers, and you know, it's just something that he's going to have to deal with all year. But like I said, he could have came back in. We just held him up.
Anyone else?
No.
Oh, good. Room's open. Aaron will be here after at the end when he gets dressed.
Will you let us know about
All right, so that was Coach Sala. We'll go over to the Aaron Rodgers presser. We'll hear from him. Now, as far as what Sala was saying, it seemed like he's not overly concerned. Now, maybe the head coach is absolutely supposed to sound like that, but he's right. Look, it was just not many plays. When you can't keep your offense on the field, you can't get the other team's offense off the field, the time of possession was totally lopsided. We couldn't stop the defense. We could not stop them with our defense. They just ran it down our throat the entire night. Offensively, we made mental errors. We put ourselves in bad positions. Our run blocking was not good. All right, let's listen to Rodgers. Let's see where he's at.
Questions for you?
Aaron, how hard was it for the offense to get going when you didn't really have that many plays?
Yeah, you know, we were just bad on 1st and 2nd down, I think, for a lot of the game. And then, you know, we had a couple drives. We converted 3rd downs. But overall, you know, I feel like we didn't have any 3rd and 10 pluses tonight. So that's always a good thing. We look at the stat sheet. But we didn't convert those 3rd and mediums. You know, we had a drop. We had a couple penalties. Had a bad throw. So a lot to correct. But overall, I feel good about our guys. Thought the protection was really good tonight. We just were a little bit off in the run game. Couldn't get Brees going. Couldn't give him enough space. But a lot to build on.
How did you feel physically, or just being out there for a full game for the first time in so long?
Yeah, it's been a while. I felt great. A lot of gratitude just to be back in pads. So many people helped me get to this spot. So I'm really thankful for you know, my surgeon, my PTs, my loved ones, you know, my friends, the staff here, training staff to help me get back was really cool. Obviously wanted to, you know, take a shot and feel, you know, the physicality of it. Once I, you know, threw a couple balls and took a shot, I felt good. Felt like I was into the game.
When you had the 7-minute drive for the touchdown, I think there were 3 straight 3rd down conversions. When you have a drive like that early in the game, coming off your long layup, are you thinking to yourself, you know, I'm back here, you know, this feels right, or what's going through your mind when you execute like that?
Yeah, I mean, it felt great. You know, we had some on the ball plays there where I had kind of a menu to choose from. Luckily chose the right ones in those situations and made the proper reads, but I felt like the protection that drive was especially good. I mean, it was great all night, but that drive I had a lot of time to throw. They, you know, didn't bring a lot of pressure, played a lot of soft coverages. A lot of two-eye stuff. They mixed in some man here and there, but overall it was, they were stopping the run with their front, and they were playing, pretty soft on the back end. But we had to do a better job, starting the second half there. Get back in the game. We put our defense in a tough spot. I did.
Is there anything to, Aaron, I know you guys had all in camp, but there's a lot of new pieces that haven't played games together on the line, new pieces of receiver you missed last year. I mean, does that contribute to some of the struggles you guys had, or is that just?
I mean, that's an excuse for sure. I mean, I'm not going to use that. I don't think we should. We expect greatness when we step on the field. There were moments for sure. There were moments that felt really good, but not sustained. Felt like if we could just get a first down, we'd be rolling. And we had those 3 and outs, which really hurt us. But I think a lot of stuff's correctable, which is great for coaches. It's frustrating for players because we know how close we were/are. But no time for that. We're going to move on to Tennessee quickly, and then we got a game 4 days after that. So this is a tough opener for us, travel-wise and schedule-wise. But no excuses. We got to play better. I got to play better, and we'll bounce back next week.
You were not happy with the way you played?
I can play better. Yeah, and I mean, I missed a couple throws. I missed the one to Garrett there, last drive I was in. The pick, I missed just slightly inside on that one. Yeah, I mean, I felt overall I was getting the ball out pretty good, but I had some opportunities that I'd like back.
What happened on that series where you had 3 second and 1, third and 1, fourth and 1? Like, why weren't you able to convert there? I think that was.
Well, we had a completion on 2nd and 1, and G just didn't get his foot down. 3rd and 1, we had a good play. They slanted the line and kind of blew us up. And 4th and 1, they played man, jam front. We had a nice play called, and I just missed the throw low.
With the running game struggling the way it was, would you have wanted to throw the ball more?
I always want to throw the ball more, but we got a great line. We were running well all camp, so we expected to hit some of those. We just kind of missed some targets maybe, and just a little bit off.
Take a couple more. That touchdown drive, you and Garrett, the 70
First one,
touchdown
yeah.
drive, you and Garrett connected quite a bit. Long gap before you did again. Was that just a lack of plays?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we just didn't have a lot of opportunities. Because I'm always trying to look for him, moving him around, getting him in spots. I mean, I don't know if there's any. There wasn't. Obviously, the offense is around getting him and Brees the ball. But I was, I want to highlight Allen. I've been talking about him for a lot of camp, and though he had a drop on the first 3rd down, I thought he played a nice game, made some nice plays for us, and really proud of him.
Was it a little extra special that your first touchdown as a Jet was to Allen?
He was open. He put his hand. He put his hand up. To be honest, I thought they're going to blow the play dead. A lot of times they do on that, but I guess it was slow enough to where he was trying to get back. And I just kind of looked over to the left to make sure he was offsides. Next thing I saw was Allen putting his hand up, so I threw him the ball.
Hey, Coach Sala.
Last one.
Coach Sala just before called the Niners a championship level group. As someone who's seen a lot of talented Niners teams, would you say it's a fair assessment?
I would. Yeah. They are a championship level group. And I hope we see him there.
Thanks, everybody. Well, room's still open.
All right, so that was Aaron Rodgers. Hearing from him, seeing how his mind is after that whole game, really frustrating. Would have loved to have seen some more consistency out of all this. Be able to get a little bit more from the offense, a little bit more plays in general. Like, I'm not even talking about wow plays. I just want to see first downs. Give me some damn first downs and a few more opportunities to get Garrett the ball, to get Brees the ball. Not the best game from Brees. Garrett can clean up a little bit, but it just felt like we were rusty and we were old. What's this? Actually, it looks like Joe Doglas. Is that right? Is approaching the podium right now. Let's see what we got from there.
Everybody, Guys, I'll just start off by stating the obvious, and that's that we got outplayed in every phase of the game. We lost the battle at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They had the ball nearly 2/3 of the game. Our defense couldn't get off the field. We gave up multiple double-digit drives, and most of them ended in scores. But if we're looking for any silver lining in this game, it's that we got humbled, and we got humbled in a good way. Now our guys and the coaching staff, they know what we need to do to improve. And Tennessee will be facing a very pissed off New York Jet football team, I promise you that. And with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Mr. Joe Doglas, why wasn't Mike Williams out on the field? Or why didn't we see him featured at all?
Hi, what's your name? What outlet are you from?
Jets Talk 24/7, guy in the pilot hat. I'm in the cockpit.
Ryan Jets Talk 24/7. Oh, I know you guys. There's three of you, right?
Nah, we got three of us. O'Leary, Bean.
Yeah, you got the tall redheaded Brian Scalabrine, and and you got that homeless guy Lima Bean, right? I thought I read somewhere that you found him through an outreach program and you put him in a trailer.
He was in a trailer for a little bit. He was driving around the country, going on roller coasters, checking out stuff. You like roller coasters?
Love them, yeah. You're doing God's work, though, Ryan.
I appreciate that. Now, are we gonna see more of this offense play better in the future? Why were we so slow coming out? Do you wish we had played the starters in the preseason?
Again, in the preseason, it's important to gel, and but at the same time, you want to go into the regular season healthy, and that was our goal, and we felt that we were ready, but we really ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Nothing seemed to go our way. And listen, they're a Super Bowl team. They have been for the last few years. They're a well-oiled machine, well coached, and this is good for us.
Christian McCaffrey didn't play, but their running game had a ton of yards. Any thoughts on that?
Well, you could put a chimpanzee in that backfield, and they're going to make something happen. They got stars all over the place. They do their jobs. They all know the assignments, and they could be missing anybody. And Trent Williams just signed on Tuesday, and he was out there doing what he does. And this is the NFL, and these are pros. And,
now I gotta ask you, Hassan Reddick. You made the trade for him back in the offseason. Clearly, no pressure on Purdy tonight. I want to know, we signing Hassan Reddick?
I'd probably keep that between me and his agent. They know where we stand. I know where they stand, and I won't be pressured, if that's what you're getting at. I don't want to overreact. It's just one game. It's
Joe
one game.
Doglas.
It's the first game of the season.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on. Anything else out here for the people in the crowd?
Keep your head up. It's the football season's a balance of ups and downs, and you can't let it go, one way too far in either direction. So, it's a long season, and we will make you proud.
Joe, I appreciate you coming in. Boys and girls, if you want to check out Joe Doglas, link in the description down below. Joe, you've been ejected from the cockpit. That was a lot of fun. Joe Doglas will be with us all season long for these post-game recaps. So if you want to hang out and watch more of our buddy Joe Doglas, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along throughout the season. All right. Get back into some more of your comments. We'll take some of your calls as well. Mike, I see you behind the scenes. Give me just a little bit here. The Wedge, joining the economy class of the Jets Talk 24/7 family. Thank you so much. If you guys want to help support the channel, you can click the blue join button below this video. For as low as $2 a month, you can help support the cockpit here, putting out some nice content for you guys. Hopefully, I'll get the every throw video out for you before too long, and then you guys will be able to watch that as well. All right, let's head over to Mike. I want to hear what Mike has to say. Mike, how'd you feel about today's game?
I don't want to overreact, but what the actual hell was that game? Why did it feel like it was just Zach Wilson's play calling? They were calling the game for Black Zach Wilson, just with better offensive quarterback play. My God, you run it on first down, and then they run it again, then he passes it on third down. If you pass it on first down and it's incomplete, they run it on second down. It's so predictable. Breece Hall wasn't working. We need to get more touches. How about you stop giving him the touches and get the ball to the other guys, because that actually worked for the one drive you did it. I'm trying to be calm here, but you went to Garrett Wilson in that one drive. You had the 4 catches. You scored a touchdown. What do you do after that? You give the ball to Breece Hall and threw like 2 swing passes. It didn't work. They were ready for him across the board. They knew you wanted to go to Breece more than you wanted to go to anyone else, because you were worried that they were clearly playing conservative because of Rodgers. So they clearly knew you were going to do Breece a lot, and they were ready for it, and you weren't ready for a counterpunch. That was out-coaching. They were out-coached on every aspect of the game. You let them run all over you. That's scary. We're going to play Ramondre Stevenson on a short week in 2 weeks. That dude can run over a bowling balls. That guy is a monster, and we have to compete against him now. And I don't trust this run defense for anything anymore. I'm really disappointed with that, because you talk about 1 week, right? Like, oh, it's just 1 week. Last year, our team was demoralized in 4th place, absolutely crushed. And we won the game with heart and hustle, and we fought through everything, and we fought through the adversity, and we won. This game, they rolled over and died. They died. They didn't do anything right. And I understand it's 1 game. Don't overreact and everything. Let's see what happens with Tennessee. But it's so disappointing when you have a game like this where you're supposed to be this powerhouse juggernaut. We can compete with anyone. We can win a Super Bowl, and you just get blown out of the water. You didn't even look like you prepared. You weren't ready for a single thing they threw at you. It was just disappointing. That's what I can say. Like, it's just upsetting to me, because it's like, oh, it's just 1 game. It's just 1 game. But and for, say like, oh, keep your head up, like there's a long season. We've been down for how many years? 14 years, no playoffs. How many losing records? What's Salah's record now? How come Aaron Rodgers is taking more accountability for this game than Robert Saleh is? He's like, oh, it's the 49ers. They're a great team. Rodgers is going, no excuses. We need to be better. How come he sounds more like the coach than the actual coach is? I'm just really frustrated with this game. I was expecting more fight and more fire, and I'll probably end up calling back later when I'm calmed down. But I'm just heated. I'm absolutely disgusted with the fact that we can call that a game. Monday night, prime time to rewrite history, and it's the same freaking team every year. I'm sorry. I'll come back in there.
I appreciate the call, Mike. Look, it's hard to argue with them. It felt like same old Jets. Like, it felt like they called an offense for Zach Wilson. Like, they didn't want him to throw the ball. And Rodgers had, 21 passes or 21 attempts, and I think 1 sack. So 22 pass attempts in, what do we have the ball, 15 minutes? Is that right? 20 minutes? 18 minutes, I think is what we had. Not good. Not good. It did feel like that. Why did Rodgers take more accountability than Robert Saleh did? It's probably not great. I mean, Robert Saleh should take more credit for this, but I would say it is more on the offensive side. Now, maybe Saleh as a whole should have overseen the offense and defensive side, and you want to attribute that blame to him. That's fine. The team didn't look ready to play. The offense looked rusty. It didn't feel like they were in a good spot. Didn't like it. Oreo says, time to panic if the Jets lose to the Titans and the Pats. Yeah. I would say if the Jets lose to the Titans, it's okay to panic, because then Thursday Night Football becomes a must-win game, an absolute must-win game. You can't lose to the Titans. I want to see us come out and just bully the Titans. That's what I want to see happen. All right, go back to the phone lines. We've got Jeremy on the line. Let's head over to Jeremy. Jeremy, how you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
Awesome. Yo, honestly, I am a little bit disappointed with that outing, but also at the same time, week 1 away at San Francisco. That's a tough matchup. I'm honestly not too like heartbroken over the loss. I still think we can pull out a strong 11-6, 12-5 out of the season. You know what I mean? Looking at the rest of our lineup, especially the home games, like I personally think we're going to hit Tennessee really hard next week. You know what I mean? There's also some crazy matchups at home, like the Texans. We beat them last year with Zach Wilson. We should be able to do that again with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? So in terms of this week, yeah, it was pretty embarrassing, to be honest. But I think we still got a chance throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was definitely not the way you want to come out of the season. Not out of the gates, at least. Definitely felt closer to. Well, I won't even say felt closer to last year because it felt like the offense moved forward. Rodgers mentioned we didn't have those second and third and 13s like the things we had last year. It was definitely at least like 3rd and 4. Like we were in those optimal positions to convert first downs and to be in those positions, which I think is a step forward. Like all things considered. All things considered.
100%. 100%.
I think it's frustrating.
I was talking to a buddy of mine, and my buddy is a Detroit Lions fan, and we were talking how this was before the game. So after the game, I might have a few differing opinions, but we were talking about how like we think that the Jets might be able to have a similar, record stretch that the Lions had last year, but in a different way, in a more defensive way, where we should be able to snuff out like offenses enough to stay on top. But after seeing like our run defense tonight, I don't know what happened with Sauce Gardner. Our secondary started looking embarrassing after he got out. I don't know. Did you hear anything that happened with that? Because I don't know.
Yeah, so Salah came out and he said that it was, I guess, Sauce just needed to catch his breath. He was back out there the end of the first half. He was only out, I think, a portion of that drive, which still feels weird. Like that's a very unsauce-like thing to have happen, which maybe that's just a testament to not being worked hard enough in the summer or something. I don't really know.
Was he back out in the second half?
He did, yeah. He went back out there.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see him. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, they ran the ball so much they didn't need to see him. That was like a big issue.
Very true. That is very true. Yeah.
Terrible.
And I wasn't super jazzed about the press conferences either. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't like Salah's tone either. Like they were saying he needs to take more accountability in the chat. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, you know what I mean? Like at least show us that you regret this bad of a loss. Honestly, 32-19. It's rough. It's rough to.
And that was like a generous 32-19. Like it probably be 13-32. Like realistically, that Tyrod Taylor touchdown was a little bit of a gift at the end there.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
for sure.
I appreciate the call. I'm gonna get to some more callers. See what everyone else is saying over here. We got Sam and then Brian on the chat. So let's go to Sam. Sam, how you doing tonight?
Oh, it's just another day, another Jets loss. Nothing we're not used to by now.
Right? It's not that bad. We see this all the time. So it's kind of like just hello, sadness, my old friend kind of a thing.
Yeah, it seemed like most of the game, whenever San Francisco was running the ball, it looked like they had 2 holes open up on that offensive line, and the running back could pick whatever one he wanted to go through because we had no interior pressure on there. They put 2 guys on Quinnen. Then they were able to single team everybody else, chip the outside, and then they got to the second level every time.
That's exactly what it felt like. Literally every time we watched the replay, it felt like, how is no one getting any penetration? So Jet Engine said it earlier in the chat. Do you think that Hassan Reddick helps this team in this game, or do you think he would have been a non-factor based on how the game was played?
I think maybe a little bit. Maybe you get one more stop and they don't get one of their field goals, but most of it is you lost all that interior defensive line help. You can't put JFM in the middle anymore. You lost Jefferson. You lost all these guys, all these big bodies that got in the way of runners that you didn't replace. It seemed like Joe Doglas gutted the defensive line this offseason, put his all his chips on the table that Hassan Reddick was going to play, and hopefully sign a contract during the year, and it just didn't work out. Kind of like Rodgers last year with the gamble. It just didn't work.
Now, do you think Hassan Reddick does play for the Jets? Do you think something gets worked out?
I think he's licking his chops right now that he's going to get a nice fat paycheck
Mhm.
I think it gets to the point where Douglas is going to realize my job's on the line this year.
Mhm.
I got to throw money at this guy. I don't care if it screws over the guy who's taking over after me.
Mhm.
And if that's what it's going to take, that's what it's going to take. It might prevent, a Devontae Adams trade here, but if the offense is going to run like it was, where it's pass, or run, pass, what's the point of bringing in Adams?
Yeah, I would say the extra receiver didn't necessarily feel like it mattered, at least not today. Mike Williams wasn't even used. Lazard, by and large, didn't play terrible. Blocking was okay. He had the one really bad drop. But outside of that, I thought he was okay. Like, this definitely felt like just a rusty offense and a just not physically sound defense when it comes to the running game.
It looked like on the offense, too, is they just wanted to predicate everything on Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. The first, 3 or 4 drives, that's all it was. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. I would have loved, like Nathaniel Hackett said at the end of the year, he didn't realize how good Breece Hall was. And now he's just going to try to force feed Breece Hall all this time. When you got a guy like Braylon Allen who should have been in on that 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, to just run that ball right up the middle. Because when I know San Francisco was playing, kind of laid back on defense, but he was able to knock a couple guys over when he was running that ball at the end of the game. So
Allen's a bully for sure. Like, I don't know why Breece would necessarily be in on that 3rd and 1, other than just like he's our best player and you just want to give him the opportunity with the ball. Like, I feel like when you take the ball, it's almost like, obviously Super Bowl with the Seahawks, they take the ball out of Marshawn Lynch's hands, best player, even though I know slightly different circumstances and whatnot, but I get what you're saying.
It just felt like personnel usage wasn't the greatest at times today either. It was just almost like a basic offense, almost like a preseason offense is what we saw today. Preseason offense, preseason defense. It felt like a preseason game for the starters. I'm hoping, something clicks at practice this week. We get it going against Tennessee, and you see those guys step up that need to step up.
Fingers crossed, Sam. I appreciate the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. We're going to go to Brian, then Loco Joe, then Eric. Hype just comes in with a super chat. Thanks so much, Hype. Says, wanted to win bad, but not mad at the loss. We got no push on offense or defense in the trenches. Our offense and defense were undersized. Reddick wasn't needed. Hype, you are the second person that has sent in a super chat, along with Jet Engine, that I completely agree with. Hassan Reddick does not change this game. I still don't want to pay him. I'd rather wait out Reddick until after the Patriot game. Give us the opportunity to play the Titans, to play the Patriots, teams that we should be winning. Look, we were underdogs in this game. We were underdogs by 4 points, not 16 or whatever the hell we wound up. What did we wind up losing by? 20? Fucking 100. That's what it felt like. I don't know. More than 4. More than 4. Not great. Not great. You guys are asking if I can make the chats a little bit larger. Yeah, I'll make them a little bit bigger. There you go. All right, let's go over to Brian. I want to hear what Brian has to say.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Shit
Hey,
sucks.
so actually, for me, I'm in a third world country right now. I'm in Ecuador.
Whoa, no way.
I've been hyping everybody up here. Just talking about, the Jets are going to play the 49ers. They don't know much. And I'm like, bro, we're going to win. Our quarterback's been hurt. And this year's our year. And I had my little nephew here, and we were watching the game. And I'm like, oh, man, we're down. Don't worry. We're going to win. We're going to win. And it just felt like, just a lot of bad personnel calling. Rodgers seemed a little rusty. The defense seemed out of whack. And I just felt like it was preseason game. Also, before we get into it, man, I've been watching you since like 2019, bro.
Oh, my dude.
Bro, when you and Green Bean, it was Freeze Bean because his Wi-Fi was horrible, and man, it's been a journey. I've been trying to. I wanted to go right now to the Broncos game, but I'm out here. You guys are going on, I believe it's on the 27th, something like
29th.
that.
Yep.
29th, yes. So I couldn't make it. I'm going to be out here, unfortunately, but I really wanted to go. But yeah, man, it just felt like sluggish. People weren't really, comfortable with each other. The defense Hassan Reddick would have helped, yes, but I think that it just everybody was just not comfortable with each other. And also, I want to let people know, like, man, we faced a team that was in a Super Bowl last year. Don't get down on yourselves. This is not a team that was not, you know, in it for the Super Bowl, man. Like, this was one of the top rated teams, and sometimes you got to get your lick. And I still believe in this team. We still got it. You just gotta let it work out itself, bro. I think Aaron Rodgers showed a little bit of shine there of what he could do. The offense showed what he could do. The defense, a little choppy, but man, we got ballers out there, bro. We got them. You just gotta let them ball, man. You gotta let them get another weekend. And unfortunately, you can't win them all, bro. Sometimes you lose at the beginning, but you at the end you might just surprise people, man. I've been a believer since my first. I've been a fan. I'm 30. I'm 31 years old, bro.
So you're right in my
So,
wheelhouse.
yeah, bro, we're right there. We're around the same age, bro. I haven't seen them win a Super Bowl, unfortunately. I know Green has, but I'm still a believer. Hopefully, we could do it. You know, but we just gotta believe, man. We can't just knock them down just because of one game. The San Francisco 49ers are a great team. They've been building for a long time. Solid comes from that tree for a reason, and we just gotta trust in the process, man. It's not how you begin, it's how you finish, man. For real,
Dude,
you just gotta
100%.
love.
100%. It's how you finish. You got to be able to right the ship, right? Like the 49ers, if we were being honest with ourselves, before we knew Christian McCaffrey was going to get knocked out, I would say the majority of people would probably say, like, all right, it's probably a Jet loss. Just want to keep it close. Now, we didn't really keep it close, but I didn't feel like, as much as it was a blowout point-wise, it didn't feel like we were that far off. Like, it felt like it was stupid mistakes. A fumble by Brees that doesn't generally happen. Stupid drops. Garrett stepping out of bounds. Lazard dropping the ball.
Hey, and you know what? He fumbled that ball, and they only scored 3 off of that. So that should tell you something right there. Other teams would have folded and gave them 7, but our defense stepped up and only let them get 3 out of it. Other teams would have let them get 7. Their defense was there, and we just got to trust them, man. Like, the 49ers are a great team, brother. If it was any other team that, a Patriots team, even though I know they won this weekend and all that, but, the 49ers are a stacked team. And they've been there plenty of times, and they know how to get it done. And we got to trust that, us, as far as a full team, we haven't had a full year yet. And they have, fortunately for them. And we will. Aaron Rodgers is a MVP, GOAT, Hall of Fame quarterback. And sometimes it just takes you a little bit, get go. You got to, take your licks. And hopefully we will get there. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop believing.
Do not stop
I've been
believing.
here for the Sanchez. I've been here for the for all of them, man. For all of them. I don't even want to name them because my first jersey, I believe, was my Sanchez jersey. That's the first jersey I bought, and it hurt me.
Oh, gee, we're gonna have some better jerseys for you in the future.
I have a Zach Wilson jersey, bro. Just to tell you that, because I believe in my Jets, bro. And I've been lucky enough. The games that I have gone, I've been on the coaches clubs because a friend of mine has like tickets to that. And like the games that I've been to, it was the one with the when Zach got benched, and it was what's his name, Mike White, the Mike White game. And I was rocking my Wilson jersey.
No, that's how it works.
I don't care. I don't care. I love my Jets. I love them forever. I will never switch. And it is what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. I'm not mad we lost to the San Francisco 49ers. I think we're still in it. They're a great team, and we'll see them again in the future, bro. We will. We're not going to give up, bro. I'm glad Rod made it through another one.
You're damn right. At least we got to see him finish the game this time. Brian, thank you so much for the call. You have been ejected from the cockpit. All right, boys and girls, we're going to keep ripping through these phone calls right now. We've got Loco Joe on the line. Loco Joe, then Eric, then Mike coming up. Loco Joe, how you doing?
Yo, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. How you feel about tonight's game?
Well, the last caller kind of stole a lot of my thunder. I'm just gonna do one of the old Aaron Rodgers quotes. A lot of the people in this chat need to fucking relax. And I'm sorry for cursing. That's really how I feel. It's either the absolute highs, we're going to the Super Bowl, we're gonna blow everybody out of the water, or it's fire Salah, fire Hackett, fire everybody, just obliterate everybody into the sun. It's just the same old Jets over and over and over again, and I'm tired of it. I'm 35 years old. I've been following the Jets since the 1998 AFC title game when I was like 9 years old, and I like to think that because I'm also a Yankees fan, I've also got to see like the highs of highs and the lowest of lows. So I have like this unique perspective when it comes to the success of a team. And the one common denominator that I see between both fan bases, especially when it comes to the Yankees, they're the ones that expect absolute perfection, and I'm starting to see that from our from the Jets fan base as well, particularly in the comments. I don't know if you were looking through the comments through the post game press conference. It's just the same old doom and gloom, and I'm tired of it, man. We lost to a better team, point blank. It's the first game of the season. Aaron Rodgers, he didn't blow his other Achilles. What are we really worried about here? Like you said it yourself. We were what, 4-point underdogs? It wasn't that bad. People are saying that we got embarrassed last night. I honestly don't see it that way. I see a lot of rust on both sides. I am concerned about our run defense. I am concerned just with like the personnel decisions on particularly on offense. When Braylon Allen came there towards the end, I know it was garbage time, but he was also doing pretty good stuff there as well. That's concerning, but it's also week one. I'm not going to say all doom and gloom and same old Jets when it's not warranted or justified yet. People need to calm down. We got Tennessee next week. We got the Patriots right after that. We have like the fourth easiest schedule this season because of how bad we were last year. I'm not sweating it, man. As long as we keep Rodgers upright, you saw what he could do. We'll be all right. Seriously, you guys need to calm down. For
Loco
real.
Joe. Pep talk. Tell me about it. Loco Joe, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate
it, man.
That was a good call. See? You guys can be happy. Be happy like Loco Joe. Good dude. Let's go over to Eric. Eric, how you doing, dude? Long time no talk.
Brother? How are you?
Dude, I just want to be happy. I was all prepared. I was like, we're going to win this game. I know it. I was like, I got the music ready to go. And nope.
Oh, man.
Nothing. Fucking nothing. Bullshit.
To be honest, though, it's okay. And, like, I have so many opinions on this. Like, before the game, I was just nervous. I was like, okay, let's make sure Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. Let's see how he's doing. I think he was good. He was pretty accurate. And people need to realize it's, like, game one. And, like, Mike Williams barely played. The chemistry of the team is going to go up. It's a brand new offensive line. Everybody's getting to know each other. San Fran has had the same unit for a while now. It's like, we're going to be fine offensively. It's like, the defense is what surprised me because like that's where usually I'm like, okay, if the offense is slow, we're always able to lean on the defense. The defense was slow, and there's two things that concern me. One, it's like, okay, the whole game also, and yes, San Fran has a wonderful O-line, but it's like the whole game I was watching, I was like, Brock Purdy had like zero pressure. Like that guy had all day to throw, and it's like nobody on the edge. I'm like, I'm not even gonna say Hassan Reddick's name right now, but it's like that was kind of concerning, and like the run defense was scary, like scary bad. And there's like 2 points. One, the coaching. I feel like Kyle Shanahan just like completely out schemed Salah, and yeah, it's like we could say it's game one, but it's like this is a championship team. That's what our standard needs to be. If we get somewhere, that's who we're gonna play. If and when we get to that point, do we have the coaches to get us to that next level and beat those teams? That's one thing that concerns me. And number two, JFM. I remember when I made that super chat about JFM and Green Bean Rage that said he's a jag, but like it's like these things that like he sets the edges, he forces those runners into Quinnen Williams, but it's like things like that I miss because I'm like watching Quinnen Williams on the edge on a few plays and like Will McDonald. Oh, I didn't even notice him, and when I was like zoning in on him against Trent Williams, got manhandled. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
scary, scary. But I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine. It was Sandran, like,
We'll be all
and
right.
I don't think we looked that bad. Like offensively, I'm like, I saw
Mm-hmm.
glimpses of what we can be. The play calling was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand why we kept pitching it. Where was Braylon Allen? Some of the calls were so questionable. But it's like rustiness. It's like, I think we're gonna be fine, man.
I got my fingers crossed. I think we'll be all right. Eric, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. We've got Mike, then Matt, then Frank. Let's go to Mike. Mike, how you doing again?
Better now, a little bit after you ranting. I think
cool
I'm
down.
No, I know. It's like, take it easy. It's week one. Maybe things change. I didn't like Mike Williams getting the McCole Hardman treatment. I didn't like that we didn't go. We just kept doing zone. Like Juicy was wide open in the zone, the one play, and then they didn't do man, and then he caught the ball the next play. Like it was just like you saw what they were gonna do, and then they went and did it anyway. A couple of those third downs, it felt like that our linebackers were like 5 yards off of the ball before when they were running the ball. Like if those two players both ran head on each other, they were meeting after the first down marker. It just felt like they could just do at will what they wanted to do with the scheming, and that's what really upset me. It's just like I'm cool. I was cool with losing to the 49ers if the game was competitive, but it just felt like when you're out coached and out schemed in every aspect of the game, it's really disappointing when you're sitting there like, can we out coach and out scheme other coaches? Because we've never seen really Hackett do that ever. And I know we have Rodgers now, but it just brings up a lot of concern for me with that in that regard, especially now when we don't have as many run stuffers as we used to. And I don't think Hassan Reddick changes this game, like just like you think. I have the same take that you do. I don't want to see them pay him just to pay him because I don't think he helps in that regard. He's not a run stopping guy. He might get you a little bit more pressure, but pressure wasn't the problem this game. It was stopping the run. It didn't matter that if we even got a sack. We would have gone like 6 less points on them. I don't think it would have changed too much. But pressure leads to turnovers. We got 0 turnovers. That's a big concern of mine as well. It just felt like we were we were giving them. They were taking what we were giving them, and we were giving them way too much. So that
We
was
gave
a
them 2
real
extra
concern of mine
possessions
as
too.
well.
They had the Rodgers interception and they had the fumble from Brees.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like it's like I liked what I saw a little bit of. It's like I know it was kind of like a glimpse because of how much they controlled the clock. But it just felt like my big fear is they kind of expose the Jets as here's the blueprint to beating them. And if other teams copy what they did, I think they will have success. And that's what scares me about this team. If a team is good enough to run the ball on us, make us go into zone, force us into bad, like I think we look beatable. And that's what kind of scares me. It wasn't like it was 2 juggernauts playing each other and everyone's like, oh, those are just 2 really good teams and the better one won. It felt like, no, they kind of have us figured out and they know how to beat us. And that's scary if other teams can replicate that. So I think that's my big concern there. I do think we'll be fine. We're definitely going to be good with Rodgers, but that was just my biggest takeaways. I was like, we looked beatable. And it looked like a blueprint that if you can just run the ball on us, you can beat us. And I hate that. But
hopefully we get to a point where we're scoring more points on offense and they can't just run the ball on us. Like I feel like this defense is definitely built more to handle a pass rush and to take advantage of bad throws with that zone defense. And like when we're put in positions like we were today, it feels very much similar to last year, where it's not because we don't have the skill to score the points on the offensive side, but just more so because we didn't score the points on the offensive side. We saw more of what the defense kind of looked like last year in bad situations. Mike, I appreciate the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. We got Matt. Let's see what Matt's doing. Matt, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Just peachy.
You know, I share similar sentiment with everyone that a lot of people that we've heard with tonight. You're not necessarily too concerned. A couple of big things for me. I think there is going to be very few, if any, other teams in the league who are just kind of going to be able to manhandle our defense like that. So I think, our defense in most other games is going to be able to get off the field more often. It's going to lead to more possessions for Rodgers and the offense. It's going to lead to more of a rhythm. I think that's what Salah said in the halftime, and he said it again at the post game press conference. I mean, we saw what the offense could be. I like the offensive line. I think the protection was cleaner. In the running game, they need to clean up a lot of the stuff, but that kind of comes with time. You got to remember there's still new pass protection. They were okay. And just some dumb mistakes like the Lazard drop, the Brees fumble and drop. I mean, those things are going to happen, but we're gonna clean those up. I'm fully expecting that we're gonna come out against Tennessee and just blow them out of the damn water. I think they are talented, but I don't think they are on our level. I get that tonight was a potential cause for concern, but I mean, look, first game, new look offense. I mean, people kind of forget that this was really Rodgers' first game, despite all the time in camp and meetings, everything. I, we'll be all right. I'm not concerned. Tonight, I will just leave with tonight. I don't think was a talent difference. I think it's just Shanahan is wacky good at scheming. He figured out what our strength is and he used it against us. And that's just the unfortunate truth.
Matt, I completely agree with you. I don't think there's any reason to be concerned right now. I do think we're going to take it out on the Titans, and I appreciate your call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. We got Frank the Tank joining the show. Frank the Tank, how you doing, dude?
Hey, what's up, Ryan? How you doing, bro?
I was really hoping this was going to be like a post-game winning press conference.
I know. We all did, bro. Just want to give you a shout out. Been a fan for since at least 2019.
Appreciate it.
Wish today was a better night, but honestly, as bad as we lost, I feel like there were some positives to take away from this game. Not used to our offense, being the strong point of our team. So I think that's something we could take away. I don't think our defense is going to look like this week after week. I do have faith in our defense getting better. And on top of that, I feel like this game was a measuring stick for our team, to see what we do need to work on. Don't have our heads too big thinking we're the next hot thing in the NFL, when in reality, it's a prove-it league. We got to prove to these teams what we are capable of. Our offense, like I said, wasn't the worst. I mean, we barely had the ball all game. Our defense couldn't get off the field. The fumble and the interception was costly. But other than that, I think Aaron Rodgers looked good. Our pass protection looked good. Our run blocking looked horrible. That's something we have to get better at. Our run blocking and we couldn't stop the run to save our lives either. I mean, that dude Mason was just running all over us. Couldn't get him on the ground either. A lot of missed tackles. But like I said, I feel like those are things we could clean up on. Those are very uncharacteristic of our team. We usually do better at stuff like that. I think Brees will look better too. I don't know why, but Brees seemed like he had the jitters, or like he wasn't his normal self.
It definitely felt like there were some first game jitters, and at least like from the trenches side of things, the offensive line, there was no run blocking. The defensive side, we could not stop the run. We just got manhandled. It felt like a team where the starters did not play anything in the preseason. Now, I have no idea. I'd have to go back and see what the 49ers did in the preseason, if they played their starters at all. But, it looked like Trent Williams had played all preseason and Jermaine Johnson did not. It sucks because you shouldn't have had that level of what felt like flatness come out week one of the season, especially after all the hype of the offseason. Now, to your credit, I do think you're spot on with we need to kind of keep ourselves in check. And I'd rather have a loss against a team that is like the 49ers, where you're like, okay, we're not at their level yet. We haven't earned anything yet. Let's not get our heads too big and inflated, and let's come out and let's take care of business, chop some wood, and go week to week to week. This week we've got the Titans. That's all I care about. I don't care about the next week. Don't care about the week after that. Don't care about the record at the end of the season. I care about getting to 1-1, getting back to even.
Absolutely. And that was my point. It was kind of like, you could think you're the hot stuff all you want, but you got to prove it out on the field. And it's gonna be hard to win games if you can't, one, run the ball or stop the run. And those are things that we have to get better at. I'd rather it happen against a team like the Niners, who just were in the Super Bowl last year, than have us show up flat against the Titans or the Patriots. So like I said, I feel like there is, some things we could take positive out of this game. I wouldn't overreact too much. Of course, people are going to try to point to the same old Jets because we've been in purgatory forever. But, we definitely need to find some interior D-line help because It was frustrating how bad they were running on us. I mean, we couldn't get a stop on third down.
No Fotu. Fotu's on IR right now, and then LT3 was an inactive. So we only had Solomon Thomas and Javon Kinlaw out there.
Yeah, so there's some things to have in perspective with that as well too. We didn't have Fotu. Mike Williams, for some reason, seemed like he was on the field for like 3 plays. And our O-line chemistry, as far as like run blocking, a lot of that has to do with chemistry and knowing where your if you're playing tackle, where the guard is going to be, or the leverage that you're going to have when you're blocking. So I do think that will improve as well. And yeah, Brees isn't going to look like this every week. He's definitely going to get better as the season goes on. So some positives to take out of it. Nonetheless, it is frustrating, but let's not get too down on our team. Let's try to lift them up.
We'll get it figured out. I have faith in it. Frank, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. All right, boys and girls. 1932 was the final. It's only 1 week. Rodgers finished the game. So there's that. I think the offense can get cleaned up. Like our last caller just said, I think the offensive line will start to gel together over these next few weeks. Luckily, the issues we saw today were against a great team. So every other game for the rest of the season should, in theory, be against easier teams. We got what, the 4th hardest schedule the rest of the week out, or 4th easiest? One of the easiest. We got a very favorable schedule from here on out. So I'm not overly concerned. I'll have to, I guess, reassess that come next week, see how we're feeling. Hopefully we're back to 1-1. We're playing a little victory music come week 2. All right, boys and girls. It's been fun hanging out with you. Are we, or should we be panicked? The chat, 66% of you say no. So I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned yet. I'll give it 2 weeks. I'm going to be concerned next week if we lose. And then it's a must-win against the Patriots on Thursday night. But I think we're going to win. We're going to win at least the next 2. And then we'll deal. I know we're going to win the next 3, right? Because week 4 is the Jet Bronco group bye. We're going on a run, boys and girls. Starts here. 1-1. We'll get back to it next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.